Egypt, the land of the pharaohs, holds a unique place in the annals of history. A civilization that spanned over 3 millennia, it left behind an indelible legacy through its monuments, writings, and influence on subsequent cultures. From the dawn of its unification to the fall of Cleopatra, Egypt's story is one of resilience, innovation, and unparalleled grandeur. The journey begins in the pre-dynastic period, around 6000 BCE, when small communities began to form along the banks of the Nile. The Nile River, stretching over 4,000 miles, became the lifeblood of these early settlers. Its annual flooding deposited rich silt along the banks, creating fertile land that allowed agriculture to flourish. These early Egyptians cultivated wheat, barley, and flax, developing an agricultural surplus that laid the foundation for the complex society to come. By around 3100 BCE, the unification of Upper and Lower Egypt under King Narmer, also known as Menes, marked the beginning of the early dynastic period. This unification was a significant event in world history, establishing one of the earliest centralized states. The pharaohs of this era began to assert their divine right to rule, a concept that would underpin Egyptian governance for millennia. The Narmer Palette, a ceremonial engraving, commemorates this unification and offers one of the earliest examples of hieroglyphic writing. The early dynastic period laid the groundwork for what would become the Old Kingdom, beginning around 2686 BCE. This era, often referred to as the Age of the Pyramids, witnessed the construction of some of Egypt's most iconic structures. Pharaoh Djoser, the second ruler of the Third Dynasty, commissioned the Step Pyramid at Saqqara, the first large-scale stone structure in history. Designed by his architect Imhotep, this pyramid marked a significant evolution in Egyptian architecture and religious thought. The construction of pyramids reached its zenith during the Fourth Dynasty, with the reigns of pharaohs Sneferu, Khufu, Khofra, and Menkaure. The Great Pyramid of Giza, built for Pharaoh Khufu around 2580 BCE, stands as a testament to the organizational skill, advanced engineering, and sheer determination of the ancient Egyptians. It was the tallest man-made structure in the world for over 3,800 years, and its construction remains a marvel, inspiring both awe and speculation about the techniques used to assemble its massive stone blocks. The Old Kingdom was not just an era of monumental construction, it was also a time of cultural and administrative development. The concept of Maut, the principle of truth, balance, and cosmic order, became central to Egyptian society. Pharaohs were seen as the living embodiment of Maut, responsible for maintaining harmony in both the earthly and divine realms. This period also saw the establishment of a bureaucratic system that managed everything from agriculture to religious rituals, laying the foundation for the centralized governance that characterized Egyptian civilization. However, by 2181 BCE, the Old Kingdom began to decline, leading to the First Intermediate Period. This was a time of political fragmentation and social upheaval. The centralized authority of the pharaoh weakened, and regional governors, known as nomarchs, gained power. The lack of a strong central government led to internal conflicts and a breakdown in the control of resources, resulting in economic difficulties and a decline in monumental building projects. The reunification of Egypt by Pharaoh Mentuhotep II around 2055 BC marked the beginning of the Middle Kingdom, often regarded as a golden age of culture and prosperity. The Middle Kingdom rulers focused on internal development, reviving the arts, literature, and monumental architecture. The story of Sinuhe, a literary masterpiece from this period, offers insights into the values and concerns of the time, emphasizing themes of loyalty, the nature of kingship, and the desire for order. The Middle Kingdom also saw the expansion of Egypt's influence into Nubia to the south, an area rich in gold, ivory, and other valuable resources. The construction of massive fortresses along the Nile ensured Egyptian control over this region and facilitated trade with other African kingdoms. Additionally, the Middle Kingdom pharaohs undertook significant building projects, including the construction of temples and pyramid complexes, though these were less grandiose than those of the Old Kingdom. Around 1650 BCE, Egypt entered the Second Intermediate Period, a time marked by the invasion of the Hyksos, a Semitic people from the Levant. The Hyksos introduced several technological innovations to Egypt, including the horse-drawn chariot, composite bows, and improved metalworking techniques. Although the Hyksos rulers adopted many aspects of Egyptian culture, their presence was resented by the native Egyptians, leading to a period of unrest and eventual conflict. The expulsion of the Hyksos by Omosai around 1550 BCE ushered in the New Kingdom, Egypt's most powerful and prosperous era. The New Kingdom is often referred to as Egypt's imperial age, during which the pharaohs expanded their territories beyond the Nile Valley, creating an empire that stretched from Nubia, in the south to the Euphrates River in the north. This period is also notable for the wealth of monumental architecture, including the construction of the Valley of the Kings, the temple complex at Karnak, and the mortuary temple of Hatshepsut. Hatshepsut, one of Egypt's few female pharaohs, ruled from 1479 to 1458 BCE and is remembered for her ambitious building projects and successful trading expeditions. Her reign was marked by relative peace and prosperity, allowing her to commission many architectural and artistic works that reinforced her divine status. Her mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahri, with its terraced structure and colonnaded facades, remains one of the most impressive architectural achievements of the New Kingdom. The New Kingdom also saw the reign of Akhenaten, who introduced one of the earliest known forms of monotheism by promoting the worship of the sun god Aten. Akhenaten's religious revolution was radical, as he moved the capital to a new city, Akhetaten, modern-day Amarna, and attempted to diminish the power of the traditional priesthood centered around the god Amun. However, his reforms were largely reversed after his death, and his successor, Tutankhamun, restored the old religious practices. Despite his short reign, Tutankhamun is one of the most famous pharaohs today, largely due to the discovery of his nearly intact tomb in 1922 by Howard Carter. Ramses II, also known as Ramses the Great, reigned for 66 years, from 1279 to 1213 BCE, and is often regarded as the most powerful and celebrated pharaoh of the New Kingdom. His reign was marked by military campaigns, including the famous Battle of Kadesh against the Hittites, one of the earliest recorded battles in history. Ramses II also embarked on an ambitious building program, constructing monumental temples, statues, and obelisks throughout Egypt. The temples at Abu Simbel, carved into a mountainside, are among the most famous of his architectural achievements. Despite its grandeur, the New Kingdom eventually fell into decline, leading to the Third Intermediate Period around 1070 BCE. This era was characterized by political fragmentation, with Egypt divided into multiple regions controlled by various dynasties and foreign powers. The rise of powerful priests of Amun in Thebes further weakened the authority of the pharaohs, contributing to the decline of centralized power. The late period of Egyptian history, beginning around 664 BCE, saw Egypt under the rule of several foreign dynasties, including the Nubians, Assyrians, and Persians. Despite these foreign influences, Egypt managed to retain much of its cultural identity. The Persians, for instance, respected Egyptian traditions and even adopted some aspects of their governance and religion. Egypt's final chapter as an ancient civilization came with the arrival of Alexander the Great in 332 BCE. Alexander's conquest of Egypt marked the beginning of the Hellenistic period, during which the Ptolemaic dynasty ruled. The Ptolemies, though of Greek origin, adopted many aspects of Egyptian culture, including the practice of marrying within the royal family, and presenting themselves as traditional pharaohs. The most famous of the Ptolemaic rulers was Cleopatra VII, whose reign ended with Egypt's annexation by Rome in 30 BCE after her defeat by Octavian, the future Emperor Augustus. Despite the end of its political independence, Egypt's influence persisted under Roman rule. Alexandria, the city founded by Alexander the Great, became one of the most important centers of learning and culture in the ancient world. The Library of Alexandria, although ultimately lost to history, was a symbol of the intellectual achievements of the time, housing thousands of scrolls and attracting scholars from across the Mediterranean. The legacy of ancient Egypt is vast and enduring. Its contributions to art, architecture, science, and religion have had a profound impact on the development of Western civilization. The Egyptians' understanding of medicine, astronomy, and engineering was remarkably advanced for their time, influencing later cultures in ways that are still evident today. The pyramids, the Sphinx, and the treasures of Tutankhamun continue to captivate and inspire people around the world, serving as a testament to the ingenuity and enduring legacy of one of the greatest civilizations in history. As we explore the ruins of temples, decipher hieroglyphs, and uncover the secrets of mummies, we are reminded that Egypt was not just a kingdom of stone, but a vibrant culture that sought to understand the mysteries of life, death, and the cosmos. The civilization of ancient Egypt stands as a beacon of human achievement, its history etched into the sands of time, forever challenging us to unlock the secrets of its timeless legacy.